Hello, grade 2. Today, inshallah, we're talking about reading and how we can answer that questions. Okay, so today we have a short story about Abdullah and his dad. Abdullah and his dad. So our story starts with what? First, Abdullah was sitting at home. Abdullah heard the adhan. Next, he started going to the masjid. When Abdullah was close to the masjid, I didn't wear the mask, Abdullah said. He was so sad, but his dad was coming after him. Then his dad gave him one. Finally, Abdullah was glad and thanked his dad. The end, they entered the masjid together. Okay, this is our story. We need to answer that. Question. Okay, so first, my characters. So if we need to first, we have four things we have to know: that characters, settings, and events. And in that events, we have a problem, and how can we answer it, or how will be solve it? Okay, so if we are talking about characters, my characters are here. We're gonna rate characters. Okay, we have only two characters. Number one, Abdullah. So number one, Abdullah. So this number one. Okay, so number one, Abdullah. And his dad. Okay, so if we're talking about characters, we have only two characters, Abdullah and his dad. Okay, so here what happens at the beginning of the story, or we're gonna say what happens first. Okay, so here Abdullah, what happens at first? Abdullah was sitting and heard the adhan. Abdullah was sitting at home and heard the adhan. Abdullah was sitting at home and heard the adhan. Okay, this is the first one. My characters are Abdullah and his dad. What happens at first? Abdullah was sitting at home and heard the adhan. Okay, so in the middle, what is the problem? So if we're talking about the problem, here, I didn't wear the mask. So what happens? What is the problem? So we're gonna say he didn't wear the mask, or we can say Abdullah didn't wear the mask. Abdullah didn't wear the mask. Okay, or we can say he didn't wear the mask. Okay, how will be solved, or what happens at the end of the story? Or how will be solved? That problem? Okay, so here Abdullah was glad and thanked. Okay, so his dad gave him one. We can say his dad give him a mask. And we're gonna say, and they entered the masjid together. They enter the masjid to they enter the masjid together, and they enter the masjid together. Okay, so again, we're talking about that reading, how we answer that one. My characters are Abdullah and his dad. What happened at first, or what happens at the beginning of the story? Abdullah was sitting at home and heard the adhan. In the middle, or what is the problem? Abdullah didn't wear the mask, or can say he didn't wear the mask. And last one, his dad gave him a mask, and they entered the masjid together. And they entered the masjid together. Okay, that's right. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. Wait for you for another video.